It was so close to a fantastic day for Wrexham. We could have gone 3 points clear, but in the end it's 1 point clear. A slip up at the end by Howard has left Wrexham probably feeling a little bit deflated, but we're still in a very good position moving into the next few games. Potentially Wrexham could be 7 points clear of Notts County before they play again in their televised game against Dorking next weekend. It was one of those games where Wrexham struggled to dominate. They allowed Maidenhead far too much possession. It seems like we were bypassing the midfield far too often, and you're wondering, is that a consequence of missing O'Connor still? You'd have thought perhaps that wouldn't be the case, a little less panicky. Maybe there's some pressure on the players, but considering the players we got available, that shouldn't really be an issue. Obviously, coming into the game, we had Barnett and Howard coming into the squad. Barnett seemed to do reasonably well. Didn't notice him too much, really. Mendy was probably more active with the wing backs, and the defence seemed to hold up fairly well. There wasn't particularly too many issues. They did leave too much space, really, for the Maidenhead players, who were then creating chances, but there wasn't too many shots that threatened Howard to make any proper saves. But that could be the case could also played into that final mistake at the end where that long ball down, and Howard really should have taken that ball, really. You could say, well, did Tozer, Tunnicliffe, should they have stopped the man, really? But if they had, that would probably would have been a sending off, maybe a penalty. You can't risk it. You almost got to trust your keeper to sort the situation. You could see him hesitating, and that's caused it's really quite surprising considering how experienced Howard is, that he would make that sort of mistake, and he was Carlisle's Player of the Year last season. Hopefully Langton comes back in for Tuesday. I mean, if Langton's ill, there's not much you can do, really. But I think also the rest team needs to perform a bit better, really. I mean, Mullen could have had a hat-trick, but it's not really up to Mullen to bail us out constantly, or even like a last-minute derby goal. We should be able to control the games a bit more, considering the investment that's been put into the side. But I think they'll be hurting from this game, and they'll be wanting to push again against Dagenham and get that win and leave us 4 points ahead, and then obviously following into the Southend game to follow that up again with another win. But we'll see what happens with that. I mean, earlier in the day we had Notts County dropping points to Bromley. There was talk where maybe Notts County could have had the keeper sent off for second local offence, could have had 3 penalties for Bromley. They've had 2, scored 1, but it did sound from the second half that Notts County were absolutely hammering Bromley, and it's probably Notts County who probably feel a little bit unlucky that they have not won that game, which then would have put them ahead of Wrexham. But sometimes you're going to get one of these days where both teams have slipped up, both teams have dropped points that they could arguably say they should have picked up. We just, both teams just move on to the next fixture and just see what happens. It's going to be lots of twists and turns. Hopefully, like I said, Langton returns for Tuesday. I'm not sure whether Ford is illness rather than personal circumstances, but if it's still Barnett at right back, there's no real problems with that. And we've not had any further injuries, so hopefully things are starting to resolve, because it's been our last Tuesday game for a bit. So hopefully our players will start to recover a little bit, and as we go into the final 6 weeks or so of the season, we'll see what happens moving forward. But thanks for listening. Please subscribe, and we'll chat to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.